You're watching Blood Politics with Boston Brian.
Let's go. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Appreciate you joining me. Let's go. This is Blood Politics. I'm Boston Brian. Today's Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. Somehow, if you have made it, congratulations for making it this far in the week. It's Sunday, guys. Let's go. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Not like there's not a lot to discuss that happened throughout this week. A lot that pissed everybody off, rightly so. Lots to speak about today as well. First off, how's everybody doing in the chat? How are we doing, mods? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for keeping that chat a safe space for everybody to, engage and, get their opinions out, but still engage in some good conversation. I appreciate that. So who do we got in there today? Who's in there? Who's in there, mod? Anybody in there in the old weeds fighting through? Nobody yet? We'll get somebody in there. That's all right. I appreciate you guys. What's up, Roxanne? What's up, Pam? How are you guys? What's up, Nancy? The names are still all messed up, guys. I have absolutely no control over that. I apologize. How are you, Soulcraft? Who else is in the house? Everybody else is in the house. Wes is in the house. How are you doing, buddy? What's happening, guys? What's up, Nets? What's going on here? What's up, Atrocious? All right, I appreciate you guys. What's up, Mama Brooke? What's up, Don, JD? Appreciate you guys. Albert, how are you? Appreciate you for being here. El Rondo, make sure you're hitting like on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Share the show out. It's free to do so. It's free to like. It's free to subscribe. That stuff helps immensely with the show. There's also a multitude of other ways in which you can help the show here. Let me see if I can get this in the right position where it's supposed to be, up in the corner there. There we go. There's a Venmo up in the corner that you can reach out, send a buck or two, bust a buck, try your luck in supporting some independent media. But yeah, lots to talk about today. Let's see if we can get into some of the topics that we'll be getting into, diving deep into today on Blunt Politics, the political podcast that literally just breaks down the propaganda and the lies of the mainstream media, Republicans, and mainly Donald Trump, and breaks it down for the normal, everyday citizens, the working class people of this country, which is you, which is me, right? Because that's who's affected by these policies. So I appreciate it. What's up, Peter? What's going on, Al, Gypsy, Big Dog? What's up, Mozart? How are you guys doing? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Sheldon, right off the bat with the gifted membership. Thank you, guys. And you can gift memberships, too. There should be some buttons just underneath me, which give you that option to do so. You can either sign up yourself. I think it's $2.99 for the month. I mean, we can all see the way that prices are going, the prices of goods. in this country, the prices of fuel, the prices of eggs, the prices of groceries, the prices of fucking everything in this country is absolutely insane right now, whether it be your electric bill, whether it be your cable bill, whether it be the clothes you have to put on your back, whether it have to be the clothes that you put on your kids' back, whether it be the fucking school that you have to send your kids to, whether it be the fucking after school activities or the you know the sports that you have to sign your kids up for, and the equipment that you have to buy for your kids for that sport, and how much that shit costs. We're all feeling it. I know I'm feeling it. So anybody that does come out of pocket, anybody that does share a buck or two from your own bank account, I really and truly appreciate it, especially in these tough times with Trump's tariffs going on. Nobody knows really what is going to happen in the future. You can only kind of somewhat predict, because you don't know what the guy's going to do on a day-to-day basis. You don't know what he's going to do from minute to minute. But before we get too deep into everything, what up, Edge fan? How are you? Appreciate that. Yeah, all you lobsters, Bryantologists, welcome to the Church of Bryantology, of course, just to play on the cult that is Donald Trump and MAGA. We try to make fun of them at every turn, and we try to make sure that we embarrass and, you know, harass, ridicule, mock. That's basically why we're here. All right, let's get into a few of the stories. Sorry, I know I'm getting away from it. I'm getting away from it here. All right, so I don't know if anybody caught this story in the AP, but former 2016 Trump campaign advisor is charged over his work for sanctioned Russian TV. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, in the moment where MAGA wants you to believe, they want you to be focusing on Obama, Hillary, the Russia hoax is, you know, as they call it, and not Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, right? Not the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted pedophile, the co-leader of the world's largest, biggest, and most widespread sex trafficking ring involving young girls, in the history, you know, of my lifetime at least, and maybe yours as well, we're going to give her special privileges, I say, because there was actually a rule in place to say that she was not eligible to be moved. But yes, we'll be talking about Ghislaine Maxwell being quietly moved out of her federal prison in Florida and being transferred into a nicer, you know, more comfortable facility in Texas. And again, the rules in which were set aside or broken or not followed in order to let this happen. So we'll be talking about that as well. We'll be getting into, I wanted to, you know, just kind of remind everybody, do you guys know that this was 5 years ago? This Axios interview with, what's the guy's name? I don't even know the guy's name. I'm not sure. Jonathan something, I think maybe. But anyway, 5 years ago at this point. So we'll be playing a little moment in which, you know, we kind of saw this coming on the left. Everybody could see this coming the way, you know, remember, I wish Ghislaine Maxwell well. And then when being questioned here in this Axios article, doubles and triples down on that. We'll also be talking about the federal investigation that was launched into Jack Smith. Again, just another outright and blatant example of authoritarianism. A blatant example of fascism and how fascist and authoritarianism works, and how you control and weaponize. Remember everybody talking about the weaponization of the DOJ and the weaponization of the government from the right. Well, that's exactly what they were doing. That's why, again, Joe Biden gave those preemptive pardons to people like Harry Dunn, who we had on the show, because things like this he knew were going to come, because MAGA and Donald Trump were telling us that this is what was going to happen. So we'll be diving into a clip that explains a little bit about that. We'll also get into this Chris Hayes segment explaining the Banana Republic style in which Donald Trump is governing. Again, speaking about the firing of the statistician. Again, let that sink in. The firing of the statistician that came out with the jobs report that apparently Donald Trump didn't like or agree with. So yes, he took it upon himself to remove the statistician. And I know that may sound mundane, that may sound bland, but it is very dangerous. It sets a very dangerous precedent in this country. And again, authoritarianism and fascism works no differently than this. You cannot separate the two anymore. We have fallen over that cliff. We officially can no longer say that we're heading towards fascism. We're heading towards authoritarianism, because the way that Donald Trump, his regime, controls the media, the way that they're controlling, the government itself, and the way that people can speak about it, is absolutely fascistic, and is absolutely a great example of what an authoritarian can do, and what the examples that they'll play, the games that they'll play in 2025 to get their agenda passed, and to make sure that the stories they want covered up get covered up, and to make sure that the jobs report and everything is favorable that comes out. No one ever says a bad thing about them. This is dictatorial bullshit, right? This is dictator stuff. Oh, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Oop, I missed a couple here. My apologies. Looks like a Bobby Slacks. Yep, we got a Carl. Thank you, Carl, brother. Congratulations. 17 months. I don't know if I've seen a 17-monther. I think you may be the first, the OG. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate that. And then I saw a Bobby Slacks in the house. What up, Slacks? Heroium Slava, back to you. Love back to you from Mel and Dungaree Dog Logan. Hello and love to all of my beautiful fellow Bryantologists, says Bobby Slacks. Right back at you, Slacks. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, my friend. And then there was one more I saw here. Yeah, Stephanie B. Let's go. Distractions from Dinko's Pedo Life. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And congratulations for being here for 6 straight months. That is amazing. I appreciate that. There's a bunch of other stories. There's actually a ton that I want to dive into as it pertains to this matter as well. It's been a while. Somebody actually brought it up on the last show. And thank you, whoever did. I forget who brought it up in the chat last show. The fact that we haven't kind of taken a look at Greg Kelly in a while. But thank you to whoever did, because, oh, lordy, just at the moment where the chat brings up Greg Kelly decides to just lay it out on the line, just shamelessly come out and on Newsmax, literally utter the words that he thinks that Ghislaine Maxwell might be a victim. Okay, I was thinking that like the lights were gonna go out, or like I was gonna get struck by lightning, or like Thor's fucking hammer was gonna come strike me dead if I said that. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet. But yes, Greg Kelly, and we'll look at a few clips of him from a few weeks ago, from when the Binder Gate, phase 1 of the Binder Gate came out, and he was like praising the administration for releasing the information, right? But wait till you get a load of this shit, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till you get a load of this shit. Greg Kelly, and we'll look at, I actually had to get a fucking Newsmax membership in order to see this. There was a few clips posted online. I don't hugely like going for just the clips. I like seeing the whole thing myself. Strangely enough, Newsmax doesn't mention Greg Kelly on their website. There's no like direct link to Greg Kelly's show. If you go to their YouTube, his show doesn't get posted. They post clips. Like if there's edited clips posted after the fact of his show, like they'll post those. But you can't see Greg Kelly's show unless you get a Newsmax Plus membership. So don't worry, I did the free trial in order to get this one. So there's a bunch of clips that we're going to take a look at as it pertains to Greg Kelly. But what do you say we get into it? Make sure you guys hit the like button. Again, I'm Boston Bryant. This is Blunt Politics, the political podcast breaking down the propaganda, the lies, and the bullshit of the mainstream media, Donald Trump, the Republican Party. And let's just kind of break it down for each other, right? We're in this as a team. We're in this together. The policies they're talking about, the stuff we're talking about affects you. It affects me. It affects your family. It affects my family. So what do you say we break this shit down together, all right? Hit that like button. Thank you. Do we have any mods in here? I feel bad. I just feel like we have I feel like we have an unruly chat with no mods in there. Somebody will show up at some point, maybe, hopefully, kind of. Oh, thank you, JJ. What's up, buddy? Hey, Brian, I'm a teacher in Texas. I work about an hour and a half away from Maxwell's new home. I'm fucking livid, as would I be too. Josh. As would I be too. And as we all are, right? I mean, of course, nobody likes to see a convicted pedophile getting special treatment from our own government, right? I don't think that's something everybody wakes up in the morning, opens their eyes, and is like, you know what? That's what I want to see today. That's exactly what I want to see. Oh, unless you're MAGA, of course. All right, let's get into just this first story that I wanted to talk about. Which is this story here of the former 2016 Trump campaign advisor charged over his work with sanctioned Russian TV. And again, as I was saying earlier, this as they're trying to distract you from Donald Trump's involvement and relationship with Jeffrey Epstein to try to talk about this Obama, Russia bullshit and Hillary and a coup and yada, 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 and that there was absolutely no involvement, even though we know, per the investigations done at the time, that there were multiple Trump advisors that were convicted of their involvement with either Russia in that or just criminalities involved in the 2016 campaign. There were also something like 26 or 27 Russian companies, I believe, that were also convicted in that. So, I mean, there's no secret that there was actual, working back and forth between people that were closely tied to Donald Trump and people from Russia that had ill intentions for the Democratic Party or Hillary Clinton herself. And again, this just goes to show even deeper involvement. This just goes to show how deep this runs, right? How it's just like we're still finding out about people that were involved with Russia and Donald Trump and the two during the 2016 and even still to this day. So the DOJ has charged a Russian-born U.S. citizen and former advisor to Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign with working for a sanctioned Russian state television network and laundering the proceeds. That's funny. I thought we were just never going to hear, or everything that we heard about any involvement with Donald Trump's campaign or advisors in Russia was false, and that just couldn't be a thing, right? It's completely outlandish, and it's made up by the Democrats, and it's a Hillary Clinton hoax, right? I thought that's what isn't that what we were told? It's funny that we're now learning of new indictments announced Thursday allege that Dmitry Simez and his wife received over $1 million and a personal car and driver in exchange for work they did in Russia's Channel 1 since June 2022. The network was sanctioned by the U.S. in 2022 over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Symes, I'll say, is 76, and his wife, Anastasia Symes, have a home in Huntley, Virginia, and are believed to be in Russia. These defendants allegedly violated sanctions that were put in place in response to Russia's illegal aggression in Ukraine, yada, yada, yada. Such violations harm our national security. As we know, the indictments come at a time of renewed concern about Russian efforts to meddle with the upcoming U.S. election using online disinformation and propaganda. On Wednesday, federal authorities announced charges. Two employees of the Russian media organization RT accused of covertly funding a Tennessee company that produced pro-Russian content. That was the Tenant Media, right? The old Tenant Media subject. Symes and nope, I don't want to donate at this moment. Symes and Washington think tank. He led the Center for the National Interest, figured prominently in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and potential ties to the Trump campaign. The report chronicles interactions that the Soviet-born Symes, who immigrated to the U.S. in the 1970s, had with assorted figures in Trump's orbit, including Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Before one such meeting, according to the Mueller report, Symes sent Kushner a letter detailing potential talking points for Trump about Russia and also passed along derogatory information about Bill Clinton that was then forwarded to other representatives of the campaign. So again, just a direct evidence of Trump's family's involvement in trying to affect an outcome in the election by getting information on Bill Clinton that was later forwarded to other representatives of the campaign so that it could then later be released in order to hurt the Hillary Clinton campaign and in order to hurt the Democratic Party, is again trying to affect change, trying to sway the political favorability of Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. Again, as they're trying to, as we know, bullshit their way around this whole thing and tell us that it was like some fucking coup that they still can't prove. After the report was released, Symes defended himself in an interview in the Washington Post. I did not see anything in the Mueller report that in any way that would indicate any questionable activity on my part or the Senate's part. A second indictment alleges that Anastasia Symes, 55, received funds from sanctioned Russian businessman Alexander Udodov. Udodov was sanctioned last year for his support for the Russian government. He is the former brother-in-law of Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin, who has been linked to business dealings with both of them. Udodov also has been investigated for money laundering. It was not clear if either defendant had a lawyer who could speak on their behalf. An attorney who previously represented Symes said he was no longer representing him. The Trump campaign did not immediately return a message seeking comment on Thursday. I wonder why. Let's see here. Symes, I think, went on saying, I assumed that I was saying on Russian TV would not be to the liking of the Biden administration, but I also assumed that as long as it was just my opinion and was presented as such, it was not something for which I could be prosecuted, he told the newspaper. So just a little something there to, again, combat and refute MAGA's talking points, MAGA's, again, fucking distraction attempts here to try to take your mind off of Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, the Epstein files, right? So just an added piece to the puzzle there. But let's get into something here that I wanted to obviously talk about because of how pissed off, and rightly so, everybody is here. This is a disgusting move on so many accounts, right? By so many standards. Not only, again, a convicted pedophile getting special fucking treatment, but also like rules being broken, forgotten about, people turning their heads the other way in order to even make this thing happen because she was not even eligible for transfer. And not only that, something I found strange that, let me just pull up for a second. Let me see if I can find this, because I posted this and I'm not 100% sure that I ever got an answer that I was satisfied with. But this is something that I looked at. I was sent this on social media, and somebody said, hey, I just looked up, this on the Bureau of Prisons website, and it's supposed to show that Ghislaine Maxwell is actually in custody and, her age and, yada, 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 and basic information that you can find on these inmates. And it says here, if you look at the bottom, as it says, location, not in BOP custody, right? BOP being the Bureau of Prisons, the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So my question was, am I crazy, or does this say Ghislaine Maxwell is not in the custody of BOP? Is this real? Is this fake? Is there an explanation to this? Because even if she's being transferred from one Federal Bureau of Prisons facility in Tallahassee, wherever the fuck she was in bumfuck Florida, to a Federal Bureau of Prisons facility in Texas, she should always, and for the entirety of that period, be under the custody or in the custody of BOP, in my eyes, right? Like she should go from a BOP site to a BOP transport to a BOP facility. So always in the custody, in the line of sight, in security of some officers, right? And people were continuing to look this up because a lot of people said, hey, when did you look this up? Maybe it was still kind of, downloading and, maybe it didn't kind of like register yet. And people were still looking up and commenting saying, nope, just looked it up. Mel commented saying, nope, still says not in custody. Still says not in custody here. And then this was, again, I guess somebody did end up coming in here and saying, I just looked it up. She isn't. And then somebody responded saying FPC Brian. But it was just weird to me that several hundred people that were also commenting here, and myself included, at some period of time, could not see that Ghislaine Maxwell was in the custody of BOP. I just found that to be a little odd. Maybe there is an explanation. My cousin's actually a corrections officer in Florida, so maybe I should reach out to him and ask him. Maybe he's got some explanation that I should be talking about. But anyways, just wanted to point that out. But yes, if you didn't hear, Ghislaine Maxwell has been afforded special treatment and has been quietly moved out of her Florida federal prison into a quieter, nicer, more comfortable facility in Texas. So let's see if we can get in. This move, not announced by the Department of Justice or Bureau of Prisons, comes as Maxwell seeks a pardon from President Donald Trump. So I wonder why she's getting this favor, again, as we reported on her long-standing and long-lasting relationship with Donald Trump, even longer lasting. It goes even further back than Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So here we're seeing the special treatment that she's receiving as it pertains to. And again, why don't we show this before we even get into this? I just want to refresh everybody's memory, refresh everybody's brains on this a little bit. This is, again, what's this guy's name? Fuck me. What's the guy's name? I feel bad. Jonathan Carl, is that his name? Fucking, I don't know. Carl, Stewart, Carl, fucking, what's his name? Come on, chat. Hit me. What's the guy's name? What's this fucking guy's name? Swan. Jonathan Swan. I knew it. I didn't have to see Forever Young tell me at all. I was just testing you guys is what I was doing. I knew that the whole time. Jonathan Sean. Oh, my bad. All right, here we go.
President, the other day,
sorry, didn't want to play that right at the bat, but this is just a little clip, again, from that interview in 2020, ladies and gentlemen. 2020, 5 fucking years ago. Can you remember that? That's 10, but, 5 if we only take one of those. That 5 years ago. Can you imagine that this was 5 years ago already? And let's just refresh our memories, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, like he's definitely going to help this pedophile. Like he's definitely going to help Ghislaine Maxwell after we heard this, right? So this whole situation that is now coming out isn't really a shock to us. It's infuriating and pisses us off, right? But it's not a shock to us, right? So let's check out. This is just a short clip, 1 minute clip, just kind of a refresher on where Donald Trump stands and has stood on this whole Ghislaine Maxwell issue. Here we go.
President, the other day, a reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, "I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well, whatever it is." Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that
she has. She's been arrested for that.
Her friend or boyfriend,
Epstein,
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, you do know that.
Oh, so you're saying
good luck? Like he's on her side. Even if we were to like transport our brain to fucking Mars and leave it on some like far off planet and then come back to the States and be like, okay, let's see if we can do some thinking now and put ourselves in Donald Trump's seat, and was like, okay, even if we don't like the system, right? Even if it's like, you're kind of rooting for people and you want to see the court system have to like prove the person's guilt. Like, I think in one instance, child sex trafficking, pedophilia is one instance where you don't get in front of a fucking camera on a microphone in a national fucking televised interview and wish the person well, wish them good luck. Right? And this is on top of him, of us obviously knowing that he very well knows Ghislaine Maxwell, what she's up to, what she's capable of, what she has done in the past, as well as Jeffrey Epstein and the crimes they both committed, all three of them together. Like, he's very well aware of that, obviously. And even still couldn't get it through his peanut-sized fucking brain that maybe as fucking, a leader, as a fucking supposed leader that he's trying to represent himself as, he probably shouldn't go in front of the nation and praise or say good luck to somebody that has been even accused of such egregious crimes. Right? So even at this point, we were like, all right, this is whacked out, man. You don't wish the lady like that well. Do you know what she's fucking capable? And this is even before my hand up, before I even knew of Donald Trump's the extent of Donald Trump's involvement in the relationship between him, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein, right?
You hope she doesn't die in jail. Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure
under your watch, right? So that might be another fact in this story that we want to throw out there, Johnny. The fact that he died under Donald Trump's administration, right? Died under Donald Trump's watch. And now he's having like a sympathetic attack all of a sudden for the convicted pedophile in this case.
Figure out, how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody.
Well, I am looking for something bad for her. If she, again, like she was, convicted of these crimes that she was accused of, I am looking for bad things. I'm looking for a rough fucking life for the rest of her fucking stay in whatever facility she's at. I want the fucking cockroaches crawling over her face. I want no running water. I want her to shower once every fucking 2 months, if it's even fucking possible. Stick her in alligator fucking Alcatraz. How about that? If you want to send the worst of the worst to this fucking place, if we're trying to send the worst of the worst to these fucking facilities, how about we send Ghislaine Maxwell to alligator Alcatraz? How about we send her to fucking Seacot in El Salvador and watch her fucking suffer there? We could put fucking 24-hour webcams all around. That way we know exactly what happens at every moment of the day. How about that, you sick prick?
And they took that and
she's a child sex alleged child sex trafficking.
Big deal. But all it is her boyfriend died. He died in jail.
And the reporter literally just says she's here. I'll even play it back. He tries to drill it into Trump's head like, okay, you know what you're saying here. You know what this person's accused of, right? Well, listen.
He died in jail. Was he killed? Was it suicide? I do. I wish her well.
Sorry, I didn't catch it. I think it's back here. My apologies. But listen to the Jonathan, what's his name? Fuck, I already forget it. Jonathan Australia, Jonathan UK, whatever his name is. Yeah, tries to actually like give Donald Trump an out and be like, well, like just to let you know, the person you're wishing well now has been accused of like the most egregious of crimes you could possibly be accused of.
I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
I mean, she's a child alleged child sex trafficker.
Big deal.
He's like, well, I mean, guy, the person you're talking about here is an alleged sex trafficker, now convicted sex trafficker, convicted pedophile, person that Virginia Giuffre said was worse than Jeffrey Epstein, more of a monster than Jeffrey Epstein. So again, that was just a little refresher, because I know sometimes the news happens so fast, so much happens in such a short period of time. And, you know, social media has us fucking trained on like 30-second clips, if that. And then we're on to the next thing. And then we have to figure out what's going on in our lives as well, that we tend to forget how much evidence is out there. And like the reasons that we know Donald Trump is guilty on the left here is because of shit like this, right? Because of interviews like this, because of him wishing Ghislaine Maxwell well in front of cameras, like because of the evidence of him being on the flight logs, because of the sick and fucking nasty shit he said about his own daughter when she was very young. You know, having sex in common, talking about her breast, and, you know, the young girl on the escalator that said, hey, and I'll be dating your daughter in a few years. Remember that one? I mean, the Access Hollywood tape of grabbing women by the crotch without their consent because you're a star and they let you do it. I mean, put all this stuff together, and I think we have a pretty fucking solid case, a solid base as for our reasoning on the left, right? I don't think we have to like really explain ourselves too much. We have like a shitload of evidence that we could play. So that one was a little crazy. Let's get back to this actual article here depicting what actually happened in this case. So I'll make it a little bigger so you guys have a better chance here. Let's see. We'll get into it here. Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted sex trafficker of longtime associate of Jeffrey Epstein, has quietly been moved from a federal prison in Florida to a low security facility in Texas. A Federal Bureau of Prisons official confirmed August 1. The transfer comes as Maxwell's attorney are pressing the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn her conviction while also seeking a pardon or commutation for her from President Donald Trump in exchange for her cooperation in the Epstein investigation and broader sex trafficking issues. Maxwell spent 2 days last week talking to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, Trump's former personal defense lawyer, at a courthouse near the Tallahassee prison where she was serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking related to Epstein. We can confirm Ghislaine Maxwell is in the custody of the Bureau of Prisons at the federal camp FPC Bryan in Texas. I'm wondering if this statement was made because of the, you know, what I just showed on Blue Sky there, and how it said it was, you know, she wasn't in the custody of BOP. Because it just seems strange. Like, why else would you have to confirm she's in the custody of BOP? Like, why would she ever leave the custody of BOP? So we can confirm she's at FPC Bryan in Bryan, Texas. They did confirm there, but Maxwell attorney David Oscar Marcus also confirmed to USA Today that Ghislaine was moved to Bryan, Texas, but we have no other comment as to why the transfer was made and who requested it. Donald Murphy says, while we cannot speak specifically to the circumstances relating to any incarcerated individual's designation or redesignation BOP institution, we can share that the BOP designates individuals to the institutions based on several factors. Those factors include the level of security and supervision the inmate requires, any medical or programming needs, separation and security measures to ensure the individual's protection, and other considerations, including proximity to an individual's release residence. The same criteria apply when making decisions for both initial designations and redesignations to transfer to a new facility. But this is fucking utterly meaningless. This is bullshit. This is shouldn't even be in the fucking article here, because as hopefully it goes on to say in this article, there's literally, she wasn't even fucking eligible to be transferred. She wasn't eligible to be transferred. So the shit that goes into you know, figuring out whether an inmate can be transferred or why they're going to be transferred is fucking irrelevant when the inmate, the convict, is not fucking eligible to be transferred. Like, what are we talking about, dude? She wasn't eligible to be transferred. they waived the rule, or they fucking took off the rule, or they changed something about the rule that said she was not eligible to be transferred. So it doesn't matter what goes into them fucking, like, what the requirements are. It does nothing. We don't give a shit because she wasn't eligible. The family is scrambling right now to figure out what's going on. Spokeswoman, yada, yada, yada. So they don't understand why this is happening. After learning about the transfer details, Giuffre's family and 2 other Maxwell and Epstein accusers issued a statement excoriating the administration for the move. President Trump has sent a clear message today. Pedophiles deserve preferential treatment and their victims do not matter, said the statement by Giuffre's surviving siblings, along with Annie and Maria Farmer. The New York Times recently reported that Maria Farmer, a former Epstein employee, told law enforcement in 1996 that she encountered Trump in Epstein's New York office, and Epstein told Trump, no, she's not here for you. Annie Farmer, one of the several women identified in Epstein's criminal case as a victim, has charged that the disgraced financier acted inappropriately with her when she was 15. Let's see here. I want to know if this fucking tells us why that rule was waived here. Yes, without any notification to the Maxwell victims, the government overnight has moved Maxwell to a minimum security luxury prison in Texas. This is the justice system failing victims right before our eyes. This move smacks of a cover-up. The victims deserve better. The prison swap is the latest development in the growing controversy over Trump's relationship with Maxwell and Epstein, who died by suicide while in custody awaiting trial in 2019. On July 30th, Giuffre's surviving siblings and their spouses issued a lengthy statement calling for Maxwell to remain in prison and urging the Trump administration to release all documents in the case that are in the Justice Department's possession. Giuffre's family especially demanded answers about why Trump said in recent remarks that the Epstein, quote, stole Giuffre from his Mar-a-Lago spa more than 20 years ago. Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade, a long time. More than that, too, in the 1990s and early 2000s. It was shocking to hear President Trump invoke our sister and say that he was aware that Virginia had been stolen from Mar-a-Lago, which was disgusting. We talked about that on this show as well. It makes us ask if he was aware of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal actions, especially given his statement 2 years later that his good friend Jeffrey likes women on the younger side, no doubt about it. The family statement added, we and the public are asking for answers. Survivors deserve this. Let's see here. In the lengthy statement, I want to know if this fucking tells us what's going on with that rule. Maxwell's new prison camp appears to offer better conditions for inmates, bunk beds, and Maxwell was given a special waiver. Here we go. All right. Maxwell was given a special waiver to go to the prison. So this is what I wanted to talk about here. I'm gonna zoom in on this just a little bit in case anybody's having a little bit of trouble reading that. That should be good for you guys. All right. The Prisons Bureau had no comment on whether Maxwell's transfer violated policy regarding keeping convicted sex offenders out of minimum security prison camps. According to a Prisons Bureau policy document reviewed by USA Today, the Bureau classifies people with sex offense convictions using a public safety factor, PSF designation, which automatically excludes them from placement in minimum security camps. Disqualified right off the bat. Not able, not an option for Ghislaine Maxwell. But apparently given some fucking special waiver, some special fucking dispensation here to make this move into a lower security, minimum security camp. Quote, there are certain demonstrated behaviors which require increased security measures to ensure the protection of society, including sex offenders, the document says. Others include those exhibiting repeated violent behavior, those considered serious escape risk, and inmates who have threatened government officials. These inmates with PSF designations are not appropriate for placement at an institution which would permit inmate access to the community, i.e. minimum security, said the Prisons Bureau policy from September 4, 2019, titled Inmate Security Designation and Custody Classification. Okay? So special compensation, special fucking rewards, special actions, special privileges afforded to a convicted pedophile, convicted sex fucking trafficker of children by Donald Trump's administration, by Donald Trump's DOJ, by Donald Trump's Federal Bureau of Prisons, we have to call it now, because one would have to assume that the Federal Bureau of Prisons would not pull this action off, if not instructed by somebody at a higher level. One has to assume that because it wasn't done before they were instructed, assuming by somebody at a higher level. Okay, so we'll go on. And while the BOP used a point-based system for housing placement that factors in good behavior, the PSF designate overrides this system for sex offenders, the document says. So it doesn't matter how good you mop them floors, how good your license plates come out while you're working, how many times you scrub your toilet in your fucking cell. Your good behavior as a sex offender does not give you special fucking privileges. You're still restricted from being in a minimum security facility, or supposed to be restricted from being in a minimum security prison. So let's see. As a result, sex offenders are placed at minimum in low security institutions like TSI to Tallahassee because they have a higher security level and more restrictions than minimum security camps like the Texas facility where Maxwell has been at. So as a result, sex offenders are placed at minimum in low, so not at a minimum, but at minimum in low security institutions. So she was already at the lowest level, right? She was already at the lowest level fucking facility that she could possibly be at per her convictions. And now she has been transferred, given more special access, more special privilege to an even more fucking comfier Club Med type facility in Texas because of her long-lasting relationship, involvement, and ability to lie and get Donald Trump at least out of what he thinks, or what he thinks is out of this mess. She's now getting special fucking privilege. A convicted pedophile, convicted sex trafficker of children. The woman who was called a monster by one of the victims, by Virginia Giuffre, said she to be worse, have done worse shit than Jeffrey Epstein. So the guidelines say inmates can get a special waiver from the public safety factor requirements through the BOP designation and Sentence Computation Center in Grand Prairie, Texas. Another BOP document says that while general information regarding the designation or transfer process may be provided, quote, specific information about a particular inmate is not public information and may not be released, end quote. So it doesn't look like we may or may not be able to see what document or what the general information was regarding her transfer because it's not available to the public. For privacy, safety, and security reasons, we do not comment on the condition of confinement or any incarcerated individual, Ocone, the BOP official, told USA Today. While we cannot speak specifically to the circumstances relating to any incarcerated individual's designation or redesignation BOP institution, we can't share that the BOP designates individuals to institutions based on several factors, including level of security supervision to the inmate. That's what we read earlier, which makes absolutely fucking no sense. It means absolutely horse shit and jack all in this situation because she's ultimately not eligible for a transfer, not eligible to be in the facility that she's at because of her convictions, because of the crimes that she committed. He specifically declined to comment on whether Maxwell had received a waiver, but referred to President Bureau, the BOP policy about only the DSCC administrator is authorized to waive a PSF. In other words, the BOP official at the centralized sentencing and designation center would have to approve it, really. So I don't have any of the details, yada, yada, he goes on to say. But again, just a little bit of information regarding this whole, prison swap for one of the grossest individuals now to be housed in one of our correction facilities in this fucking country, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to see the level of fucking privilege, the level of access. Who did we just play the other day as well? We just played a clip from somebody the other day. Was it Christina Bobb? If I'm remembering correctly, that was on either OAN or RSBN talking about how, the rich and powerful continue to get away with crimes and continue to be privileged in society, continue not to be held accountable, and how people are frustrated. Wasn't that Christina Bobb that we just heard say that? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. If I am remembering correctly, Trump's attorney or former attorney or spokesperson or, Trump acolyte in some fucking sort of way she was going on and talking about how, people are getting frustrated. MAGA is getting frustrated. The rich and powerful getting off on their crimes, and which is utterly fucking moronic and hypocritical considering the person that they support as their leader. But anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. What's up, Adam? What's up, buddy? Are you fighting alone down there in the weeds? I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, that is just a little bit of that story that I guess, I mean, just infuriated people and continues to infuriate people, especially the families, especially the victims and the families of the victims that were, molested and abused and, trafficked from one corner of the world to the other. At the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell, the person that they're now watching on TV, receive special treatment, special privileges from the Bureau of Prisons at the behest and request of Donald J. Trump because of the lies that she could tell, that Donald Trump wants her to tell in order to get Donald Trump away from this, ridiculously harmful and dangerous story to his campaign, to his presidency, to his fucking safety and freedom, right? It's fucking nuts. It really is. The shit that they're doing out in like broad daylight, in public, in front of your face. Special waivers for pedophiles now. And MAGA's got nothing to say about that, apparently. MAGA's got nothing to say about that, apparently. And not only does MAGA not have anything to say on it, but this is what the MAGA commentators are actually coming out and saying. Like they're literally Oh, Chewy, you fucking awesome motherfucker. You awesome motherfucker. Let's go, dude. Thank you for that. Thank you for those 10. Please make sure if you're receiving one of those gifted memberships from Chewy that you're thanking Chewy. And even if you don't receive one of those gifted memberships, make sure you're thanking Chewy. Because, again, to come out of pocket with anything even remotely close to something like that is incredibly generous. And, again, is only done because of the generosity of you guys. It really is. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. And anybody that I've missed, don't fret. Don't yell at me. Please don't get angry. At the end of the show, we go through all our super chats, all our gifted memberships, all our membership milestones, all of the Venmos, all of the PayPals, anybody that contributed to this show financially in any way, you get recognized. I also completely go on to thank the people that like, share, subscribe, and do all the free stuff because that helps in other ways immensely. It really, really does. So, all right. Thank you, Chewy. Appreciate that. But yes, so here is Greg Kelly. We're not getting into it just yet, but I just wanted to show you the utter hypocrisy in Christina Bobb talking about how everybody's getting mad that the rich and powerful are getting off. MAGA talking about how they care about children and they want to stop the harm to children and yada, yada, yada. Remember that movie? What was that stupid fucking movie that they were loving? That was about, it was about like sex trafficking, something freedom. What was it? The Power of Freedom or The Sound of fucking Freedom or something like that, right? And it was like, oh, big fucking, firestorm of support through MAGA. And, meanwhile, they're supporting Donald Trump. And meanwhile, the guy that they're supporting is actively getting, special dispensation to a convicted pedophile. Not somebody accused, somebody convicted. And right now, MAGA is already doing their best. The leaders at MAGA in the MAGA media sphere are doing their best already to prime the fucking the engine, right? To get the waters flowing for when Donald Trump pardons or commutates the sentence of Ghislaine Maxwell, for MAGA to have these talking points that, oh, it was just the deep state. Oh, she was just a victim. She was wrongly prosecuted. She's an innocent bystander. Ugh. I can't even say that without throwing up. But this is what they're setting up. Greg Kelly on Ghislaine Maxwell. She just might be a victim. She just might be. There was a rush to judgment. This is Newsmax. This is the MAGA fucking commentators at the top getting the word straight from Donald Trump to prime the waters to fucking get that engine revving, baby, to make sure that we can get off and go full speed ahead for these pardons, and we can make sure that our base has something to talk about, has a talking point that they can stick to get them out of these hard debates and conversations that they're ultimately going to have when this bullshit happens. All right, so we'll get into this. A couple other stories that we're going to get to first. I did just want to take a look at this short clip here detailing fascism in plain sight, authoritarianism in plain sight once again in the United States. Probably maybe the clearest example that we can see where the government going after past government officials that were going and investigating them, right? So this is just a short Sunday Today, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, kind of giving us a brief rundown of this new investigation opened into Jack Smith. So why don't you say we get into this? Make sure you guys hit the like button. I really appreciate you guys being here. Again, this is Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. This is the political podcast that sifts through the lies, the propaganda, and the bullshit of the mainstream media, Donald Trump and the Republican Party, and breaks it down for the working class, the everyday, normal individuals, everyday Americans like myself, like you, right now, sitting watching this. So what do you say we break this down? Let's get into it. Thank you so much for being here. Again, hit that like button. This is the story of Jack Smith and the investigation, again, opened up into Jack Smith, apparently. Let's go.
Smith, the former special counsel who brought 2 criminal indictments against then-candidate Trump. Smith, a frequent target of the president's...
You know what? 1 second. My apologies. Let me just start that from the beginning. I think it started a couple seconds in, so I don't want you to miss the important stuff. All right, here we go. Ready? Rock and roll.
This weekend, another round of demonstrations against the Trump administration's fast and forceful action as federal officials on Saturday launched an investigation into Jack Smith, the former special counsel who brought 2 criminal indictments against then-candidate Trump. Smith, a frequent target of the president's anger.
He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton.
What the fuck was that? Was that slowed down? Hold on. Time out. What the fuck? Did he just say he sucked him on me? What the fuck was that? One more time on that one.
Candidate Trump. Smith, a frequent target of the president's anger.
He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me.
They suck him on me. Oh, shit. All right. I mean, that must be slowed down, right? That's got to be slowed down just a bit. Something's up with that one. He suck him on me. Fuck me.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton initiating the independent agency's inquiry, alleging Smith violated the law by using his investigations to hurt Trump's 2024 campaign. Though not publicly...
See the theme in this? You see the theme in this? Like, seemingly the only investigations they're willing to open is ones that they think or believe that they can somehow get across to the public that was harming Donald Trump in some way. So the 2016 election, they think there was some like fucking coup perpetrated by Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, fucking Brennan, Comey, anybody that MAGA didn't like was involved in this in order to harm Donald Trump's campaign. And the same thing here, right? There's more shit. They think if they can get it out, to their MAGA base, that Democrats were in some way behind the scenes working with the deep state to, affect some, negative impact on Donald Trump's campaign, that's what they'll hook onto. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. All your gifts literally keep this show running, guys. I know I hate that I have to keep saying this, but making this a full-time job has put added complications on the things. Giving up a plumbing career to again bring you guys the news, bring you guys the political insights, the political opinions that I have. Especially when it comes to Donald Trump. I've been covering the man for 10 years straight now. I know his lies. I know his rhetoric. I know his posturing. I know his bullshit. So if you guys, want to feed off on any of that, learn from any of that, teach me things as well, please think about supporting independent media. Bust a buck, try your luck. A buck or two goes a long fucking way. It really does. Because I am literally only supported by the financial support of you guys and you guys alone. No ads, no backers, nothing behind a paywall, nothing like that. So whether it be Venmo or becoming a member or signing up at patreon.com/BostonBrian, or again, just sending a buck or two. Thank you guys to anybody that likes, shares, subscribe, does any of that stuff. It means a lot. And it is hugely important. If anybody that's been watching this show a long time knows, I don't like self-promotion. I don't like talking about myself. I don't like promoting myself. I don't like asking for fucking donations or money or financial contributions. I hate it, in fact. But unfortunately, it is just the reality of this position. and the decisions that I made in order to be with you guys more. So I appreciate you guys. Let's continue on with this one. Just a few more seconds, few more minutes of this. Just the most, again, direct example, the most direct act of authoritarianism. Just, again, from the fascist playbook. I think this is, again, maybe step 2 in Joseph Goebbels' fucking Nazi playbook on how to take over a federal government in order to punish your political opponents. I think this is maybe step 3.
Presenting any specific evidence of impropriety by Smith. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel can refer potential violations to the Department of Justice. This is the president in a new interview defended his decision to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Dr. Erica Mack.
Again, another example of authoritarianism and fascism that we'll be getting into. I'm not even sure. Did I even bring that up? Oh, thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much, Tanya, for that 5. I appreciate that so much. I really do. I really do. I know there's not, my vocabulary isn't wide enough and large enough to, bring in more words. Say, Angry Ginger? Where? Come on. Where's the Angry Ginger? Get out of here. Stop it. What's up, dude? What's happening, man? Appreciate you being here. I see everybody saying hi. I must have missed the comment go by. That's my fault. My apologies. But hello to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. A lot of fans in the chat, obviously. Let's fucking go. Appreciate that. But I mean, so much, again, like I just said in the beginning of the show, like so much is going on. So much happens that like it's easy to leave things out and not, cover everything as it should be covered. I mean, talking about this, firing statisticians, right, is a step that I don't even know fucking like fascists would take. I mean, I know they would, and I'm being facetious, but for Christ's sakes, the fact that he's literally firing people that do the numbers, that run the fucking numbers, and just because they are not beneficial to him, they don't look good to him. They show what a fucking lackluster and incompetent hack he is. He is now going to fire government officials, government workers that literally just crunch numbers, right? I mean, this is, again, you might not think of it as such, but this is authoritarianism. This is exactly what this is. This is a dictatorial move, a dictatorial regime. It's, fucking flexing their powers, flexing their muscles as it pertains to, firing and hiring and what do you even want to call it? Fucking intimidating the federal workforce. Right. So now this sends a clear signal to other statisticians, other people in the federal workforce. If you have a report, if you have some numbers that are going to come out and it's going to be fucking detrimental to the Trump administration, to Trump's regime, then you better fucking find a way to make that, to sugarcoat those numbers, or to not release those numbers, or to hide those numbers, or to burn that fact, or this fact, or that. You know what I mean? Like, this is sending a clear fucking message, the same way that his lawsuits in the media are sending a clear message to CBS and the fucking 60 Minutes and all these other people. Clearly, the South Park dudes didn't get that memo, but still there are some people fighting, but this is a clear fucking attempt to intimidate. Intimidation tactics, whether it be upon the people in the federal government, whether it be upon the people in the fucking free press, whether it be upon, independent media, people like myself, people like Brian Tyler Cohen, David Pacman, Midas Touch, Jesse Dollamore, Brittany Page, right? Fucking the Angry Ginger, right? Fucking anybody, any one of us speaking up against these policies, these actions, the dictatorial, fascistic, authoritarian rule of Donald Trump's administration, are putting ourselves at risk, on the line. I mean, I know I'm a small channel and there's fucking a slim to none chance that my videos are viewed or seen by anybody of any importance in MAGA or the fucking Trump administration. I get that. I'm no fucking, I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn and try to make it act like I'm bigger than I am. But there are absolutely content creators big enough, like the people that I just named, that are getting their videos seen by the other side, that do have their videos talked about and commented on by Donald Trump, by fucking Stephen Miller, by people on Twitter and, wherever they're at. Those people are actively putting themselves in a dangerous fucking position by calling out this bullshit, because you don't know who they're coming for next. If they're coming for statisticians, if they're coming for the fucking free press, if they're coming for U.S. citizens as it pertains to ICE, and deportations. There's no fucking telling who's next. You know, I could very well have a fucking knock at the door. Angry Ginger could very well have a knock at the door. David Pacman, any of the people that I just named, Jesse Dollamore could very well have a fucking knock at the door. And somebody from the federal government saying, hey, we saw that you said this. We saw Hassan get fucking pulled aside at the airport. We've seen multiple tourists get pulled aside and their phones confiscated or looked at because of the shit that they've said on social media. This is fascism, authoritarianism, and a fucking dictatorial regime in full frame, in full view, in broad daylight. And no, it's not concentration camps set up all throughout the United States. No, it's not, 7 to 50 million deaths yet, right? But this is still the playbook, the definitional use of the playbook by the Nazis, by fucking Mussolini, the founder of fascism, and the people that molded fascism to their fucking murderous beliefs. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Sunflower, let's see here. JD, thank you, guys. Who's this one? This was Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen. I love your energy and honesty, Brian. I hope you continue to grow and people hear the important things you bring to light. Well, thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support and the kind words. I really do. I really do. Because I do mean every word that I say. I don't know if you can, I don't know if the passion comes across on camera. I don't know if the emotion comes across on camera all the time. But this is shit that pisses me the fuck off. This is shit that gets me fucking riled up. I never thought in a million years that politics would be the thing that motivates me to get active, to get involved. But it has. And the effect that I've seen it have on the immigration population in this country, women in this country, the LGBTQIA plus population in this country, the people of color in this country is fucking sickening. And it's disheartening. And I'm here to try to make whatever small fucking difference that I can make with the channel and the reach that I have, right? Speaking of emotion, as I talk about it. So there was no way that I was going to just fucking sit idly by as Donald Trump came to talk about fucking Mexicans as being rapists and criminals. Starting talking about, poisoning the blood of our country. Came in the first and grabbing women by the crotch. Wasn't going to let that fucking go by. I'm not going to lay my head on my fucking casket when my fucking last breath has left my body and say that I did nothing to fight what the fuck's going on in this country. Fuck. So that's why I'm here, in case you're wondering. All right, let's just finish this one out. My apologies.
Tarfer, hours after Friday's jobs report was released.
We fired her because we didn't believe the numbers today.
Earlier this year, Trump praised the agency after it issued a favorable jobs report.
A lot of jobs are being created. That's what happened this morning. That's what the jobs.
But dating back to 2016, he has also rejected favorable reports when they've come under Democratic administrations.
Don't believe those phony numbers.
The monthly jobs numbers for this July.
Just a blatant fact. We don't even have to finish this out. I think it's pretty fucking clear as to the level. Let's get to the statement by Erica here. She says, it has been the honor of my life to serve as commissioner of the BLS alongside the many dedicated civil servants tasked with measuring a vast and dynamic economy. It is vital and important work, and I thank them for their service to this nation. I think it does go on.
Measuring a vast and dynamic economy is during his first.
I'll stop that so you don't have to hear it skip. I think there is here it is. Sets a dangerous precedent and undermines the statistical mission of the Bureau. I mean, I think that's just the understatement of the century right there. And again, this may not seem like much, ladies and gentlemen. This may seem like a minuscule act, but it's not. It's fucking absolutely not. When you have an administration actively removing people that just fucking do the numbers, right? That just crunch numbers from other sources, like from other places. It's not like they're coming up with these fucking jobs numbers. They're just saying, hey, this is what's happened. This is the fucking percentage. This is the number of jobs we lost. This is the number of jobs we gained. This is the number of this we've gained. This is the number of this we've lost, which means that we've grown or fucking, retracted at this percentage. No worries, Mark. Take your time, brother. Take your time, brother. Hope it goes well. All right, so just on to our next thing here. This is just a little bit on with sticking with the same story here. This is Chris Hayes in his segment talking about this exact move here, talking about the this is actually titled "Trump will try to quote cook the books after firing labor stats chief, experts warn." So what do you say we get into just a little bit of this? I'll speed it up just a little bit. We can get through just a little bit more than we may if we do only listen to it at regular speed. Don't plan on listening to the whole thing. Just kind of want to give you the overview and Chris's, insights and opinions on this. And not only that, but the insights and opinions of the experts that I'm sure he is going to quote and use as sources here. So what do you say? You hit that like button. Let's get into MSNBC's coverage here. This is All In with Chris Hayes covering Trump's banana republic firing of the labor stats chief. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let's get into it.
News commentators reacted in stunned silence to a brutal July jobs report that was way below market expectations. Crucially, the report also revised the previous jobs data from the last 2 months, which is standard practice. This happens a lot. It's a hard thing to measure. That turned out to be the worst part of today's report, right? So the revisions reduced job growth for May and June by a combined 258,000 jobs, like enormous revisions. Basically, what we have now is the worst 3 months of job growth since the pandemic. Worse than any 3 months.
Hey, Mike. No, I'll have no talk of that in my chat, sir. You will absolutely make it to 67. You'll make it to 77, and you'll make it to fucking 87. And God willing, Lord willing, as fucking unreligious as I am, as non-religious as I am, I pray that you even see 97, my friend. So let's have some positive vibes here in the chat, please. Because we have faith in you. We believe in you, Michael. We're with you, buddy. We're with you, dude.
Under Joe Biden for his entire presidency. And how did Donald Trump respond to that bad news published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner?
So you know what I did? I fired her. Right. And you know what? I did the right thing.
Why did you fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
Because I think her numbers were wrong.
Because I think her numbers were wrong. Like, it doesn't get any more dictatorial than that, right? It does not get any more, because he's basically just said, because I fucking said so, right? That's what he's saying. Because I fucking said so. That's why I fired her. Because I don't like the shit that she said. Because the shit that she said, even though it's not shit she said, it's just numbers that she crunched and came out with, hurts my fucking administration. Right, exactly, JD. Fucking exactly. His goddamn fifis got hurt. That is fucking exactly right. I mean, it goes no deeper than that. There is no fucking extra thought put into it. Nothing. It is fucking because I said so, because it hurt my fucking little fifis, and because it makes me look really bad, right? It's fucking disgusting. It is literally the epitome of authoritarianism and dictatorial rule. It's not killing people, right? It's not fucking murder. It's not concentration camps, I know. But there are many different aspects to fascism. There are many different aspects to authoritarianism and dictatorial powers and people expressing those dictatorial powers than just, murderous fucking policies and murderous, activity. Like the insights of firing. We talk about how Joseph Goebbels took over the media in Germany, in Nazi Germany, put out radios given out by the Nazis so that people had access to the news that only they and they themselves controlled. Take over the newspapers, fucking fire or kill or send away all of the, the intelligentsia, all of the teachers, the professors, the people that fucking know what you're doing is stupid and wrong and illegal and unconstitutional. Those are the first people to go. The people that are there to express their free speech and engage in bringing the United States citizenry the fucking news that they deserve to stay, informed on what's going on in this country. The free fucking press. If you can take that over and you can get only your words out, only your lies and propaganda out, and you drill that into the minds of the people, then you can get them to believe whatever you want. And we've seen that. We've seen that demonstrated time in and time out by this administration. They use the Nazi playbook like it's a fucking cheat sheet. Like Stephen Miller and Donald Trump have the fucking cliff notes on fucking Joseph Goebbels' fucking playbook. I mean, it's fucking uncanny. It really is uncanny. Because his fucking feelings got hurt, because it made him look bad, he thinks he made the right move. The epitome of a dictator. Doesn't matter what the rules say. Doesn't matter what the fucking, doesn't matter what her tenure is, what her contract says, how long she's been with us. If I have the right, if I don't have the right, if the numbers were right, if they weren't right, doesn't matter. Because I said so, because I fucking don't like it, she's gone.
So going forward, is presenting data or information you don't like. Should they fear for their jobs? I've always had a problem with these numbers. We need people.
And that's a great question by that reporter. I don't know if you caught that one, right? So the reporter is asking exactly what the intent is here by the Trump administration. It's not so much just getting this one person out. I'm sure that was, a part of the plan. That was expressly what he wanted, because he doesn't like the numbers report, because he doesn't like the jobs report, because supposedly she was a Biden appointee. I think I read that somewhere. Right, that's one aspect. But now the other aspect to that is what I was talking about earlier, is the message this sends to the other, bureaucrats, the bureaucratic workers in our federal government that have to come out with reports and stats on what the government is doing, what they're producing, what they're not producing, right? So say if you have to come out on, with a number on how hurtful and damaging Donald Trump's tariff policies are and continue to be to the people of this country, and how the prices of goods continues to rise, unemployment continues to rise, job growth has been slowed year over year, right? Not good things that we look for in the economy. So if you report on that, if you're a federal worker, a bureaucrat in the federal government, in the United States government, and you report on that, your job is to report on these things and get this information out to the people. You are now at risk of losing your job, your career, having your family lose their fucking, stability and livelihood, because Donald Trump doesn't like the information that you are going to come out with. That's the message this sends to the rest of the federal government, the rest of the federal workforce. Just like the message, again, it sends throughout the media when he sues 60 Minutes for $700 trillion, or only allows certain reporters or news outlets into the the press briefing room. Same thing.
Information you don't like. Should they fear for their jobs? I've always had a problem with these numbers. We need people that we can trust. Why should anyone trust the numbers? Well, that's, and if you're right. No, you're right. Why should anybody trust numbers?
Firing the people in charge of publishing accurate information in the economy is exactly the kind of thing that folks like us and many critics of Trump have worried about since Trump returned to office. I mean, this is the kind of dictator 101 playbook, right? Questioning
again, and I haven't seen this clip, didn't see this clip. Obviously, great minds think alike, Chris. But he's 100% spot on. This is the fucking playbook 101. This is how you do it. Media, take over the media, take over the free press. Make sure that you only have people inside your government, working in the fucking federal government, that are 100% loyal to you and you alone, right? While I've played Midas Touch videos that have fucking millions of views, where it shows Donald Trump side by side and the Nazi oath that the military had to take to Hitler himself, not to Germany, not to the motherland, not to the fatherland, and not to the mission of saving their own free land or whatever bullshit they could come up with, but to Donald Trump, an oath to Donald Trump alone. And I played that side by side with Donald Trump at a rally, making his fucking A. Remember this? Trump makes rally take oath. I don't know how many people remember this, but my fucking 10 years of coverage of this asshole doesn't forget this shit. Let's see here. Let's see. What year was it in? Take oath. It was loyalty. Basically, he made them say they were going to vote for nobody else but Donald Trump, but it was so fucking spot on. Here it is right here. Here we go. Here, let's play this one for you guys. Here, ready? Check this out.
Recently, Donald Trump got a bunch of his supporters, a crowd of hundreds of white Americans, to raise their hands in a loyalty pledge of support. It looked like a gathering of neo-Nazis. Now, Trump disagrees and played dumb when he was confronted by the Today Show.
Now, as you know, a still image of that at your rallies has gone around the internet, and some people have been quite disturbed by that image. And in fact, Abe Foxman, who's a Holocaust survivor...
Can you guys maybe possibly see any reason as to why, I don't know, people might be slightly disturbed by the image, slightly fucking outraged as Donald Trump's making his crowd take a pledge of loyalty to the Fuhrer as they're holding up their right hands in a Nazi-like salute-like manner? Is there any reason why, people might have fucking trouble? But listen to what he says. Listen, I hope they play the fucking clip here. See if they play the clip. Hopefully they do.
Says it reminds him of the Nazi salute. I wonder how you feel about that comparison and whether it would make you want to perhaps not do it anymore if people do feel that way.
Well, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, we're having such a great time. Yesterday, I had 20,000 people in Mississippi.
Right, I don't care about that. I want to hear the fucking actual pledge here. Do they play the fucking pledge? Let's see.
Was still really insulting. He needs to apologize. A lot of those people knew exactly what they were doing at that rally. About 70 years ago, 11 million people were murdered by Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany. There's a good amount of Holocaust survivors still alive today and living in America. Now, Trump can argue that it was just a little innocent pledge, that he didn't realize what he was doing, but that's no excuse.
All right, so again, just wanted to bring that back for you guys in case, anybody let that slip their memory banks, because I mean, it's pretty hard to argue these similarities there. And again, you can go to MidasTouch.com or go to Midas Touch on YouTube, go to their playlist, type in Boston Brian, search my videos, and I have a video. I don't know, maybe this is where this kid got his fucking video idea from, because I have a video that literally I put side by side because I feel like it was very fucking influential, and it is more easy to digest if you see them side by side. And I put the oath that the Nazi army, the Nazi military has to take to Hitler side by side with what he says at this rally. And then the other comparisons that we make, and then you tell me if I'm wrong, if I was being fucking hyperbolic or anything like that. All right, let's get back into this Chris Hayes, because he's 100% right. Let's continue.
Existence of empirical data, going after someone that gives you a statistic you don't like.
And just can we remember, does anybody recall Joe Biden? Fucking whatever arguments, whatever your feelings are towards or against Joe Biden and his administration. Can we all agree that we don't recall, or you probably can't recall because it didn't happen? Joe Biden firing labor workers and statisticians and federal employees because his numbers were revised down. Like, weren't his numbers revised down a shitload? Like, wasn't it almost like 500,000 jobs it was revised down at one point? Something crazy, right? Something fucking crazy. I don't remember Joe Biden coming out and immediately firing the people that came out with those numbers. It's funny how that works. And say what you will about Biden, right? But you can't deny that he didn't fucking, abuse his power in a dictatorial, fascistic manner in order to fire the federal workforce that comes out with these just general fucking statistics on the well-being of our country, right?
Now we are 6 months in with a bad jobs report, and Trump is looking to cook the books clearly. Dan Coe served as chief.
Thank you, Jenny Faye. Thank you, Jenny Faye, for the 10 gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nordez. You handsome son of a bitch. I appreciate that. Let's go. I'm trying to make up for lost time, bro. I'm trying to make up for lost time. Fucking like 13 months of thinking you're a chick. I feel terrible. Jesus. All right, let's go.
Staff, the Department of Labor in the Biden administration. Jared Bernstein served as the chair of Council of Economic Advisors for President Biden.
All right, so now obviously we're going to hear what the experts think of this move. Right? So forget what I think, forget what Chris Hayes thinks, right? These are what the so-called, at least, experts have to say on this firing. Let's just at least take a little dive into what they have to say, and then we'll head on to our next subject, which is going to be, again, Greg Kelly and MAGA's attempt now to try to get you to believe that Ghislaine Maxwell is just the victim. Just the victim. All right, so let's get on to this.
Join me now. Jared, I'm going to start with you. And the reason I'm going to start with you is I talked to you a few nights ago, I think, And the last question I asked you was, there's been some people looking at the statistic methodology of the Bureau of Labor.
All right, so before I get, hold on 1 second, because Mel is just fucking incredible behind the scenes here. She actually got the, let me see here, Trump broke rules, Club Med. I don't see it here. Hold on. Emailed the link. 1 second. She emailed me the link to the video that I did for Midas Touch there. Hold on. I don't. Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. There it is. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I just want to show, I think this is, I got enough time. I got enough time. Greg Kelly's not that important, right? So let me see if I can show this. I'll put this on the screen for you guys. Let's see if I can you see it? I'll make it just a little bigger for you guys. All right, here. So this is the video that I did. Christ, I don't even remember when I did this. This was over a year ago, at least. So this was December 8th, 2023. All right, 2023, I did this video. So this was, I'll even get to the point where so this is just some of the rhetoric. Remember this that Midas Touch came out with? Trump echoes Hitler's words on the campaign trail. I get rid of the communists and the vermin. I will take care of the enemy within. Jews and migrants are poisoning Aryan blood. And then goes on. Trump says, I will take care of the threat from within. And then he says, migrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Hitler says, one people, one realm, one leader, which is Ein Reich, Ein Volk, Ein Führer. And then Donald Trump has the one people, one family, one glorious nation, which is the first fucking, the thing that I point out in this. But here, let me just go to the actual clips of the comparisons that I make here. Here we go. Ready? Here's one of them that I make. Check this out.
These people are coming in with every possible thing that you can have.
And again, let's compare that to a Nazi propaganda film with the same message.
Auf diese Weise verbreiten sie Krankheiten. Pest, Lepra, Typhus, Cholera.
All right, so let's just get this straight what he's saying. That was Donald Trump talking about the diseases, right? The diseases that are being brought over the southern border by the immigrants, by, the filthy and disgusting immigrants. So I go on to play from the damning Nazi propaganda movie, one of their scenes and clips, one of their most famous clips and scenes from one of their most famous fucking propaganda films that goes on to say exactly, pretty much word for word, what Donald Trump says about immigrants. So one more time, ready? So he's talking about how they're coming in with every possible thing as far as diseases. Now go on and listen to the Nazi propaganda film here.
Possible thing that you can have.
And again, let's compare that to a Nazi propaganda film with the same message.
Auf diese Weise verbreiten sie Krankheiten. Pest, Lepra, Typhus, Cholera, Ruhr und so weiter.
And once again, the messaging is exactly the same. This is meant to get you to believe that the other side is not worthy of human life. Right? So they're animals, they're rodents, right? Along the same lines. This is very much Nazi rhetoric, Nazi propaganda, right? And this goes on. I'm obviously not going to show you the whole movie. I'm not that fucking pretentious. But here, this is just the next clip that I play. I'll just play the clips here. Ready? Here we go. Get into this one. Check this out. That are just groomed to vote for the Democrat Party.
What's happening right now as a large group of people, they call it a caravan. So as the caravan, and look, that is an assault on our country. That's an assault. And in that caravan, you have some very bad people. You have some very bad people.
All right, so let's take what he said there, remember the language, and we'll compare that to one of the most well-known Nazi propaganda films called Der ewige Jude, or The Eternal Jew.
Eine verblüffende Parallele zu dieser jüdischen Wanderung durch die ganze Welt.
Now listen, ready? Now I'll even go back. We'll read it out loud. We heard what Donald Trump just said, right? We heard what Donald Trump just said. Now this says a startling parallel to the wandering of Jewry through the entire world, right? So basically the immigration of Jews. Here we go, continue.
Bieten uns die Massenwanderungen eines
Seen in the mass migration of an equally relentless animal, right? So a caravan, so a relentless animal. Donald Trump compares that and talks about how the people coming across the southern border are in caravans, dangerous caravans of people coming to invade our country, right? Rhetoric, same rhetoric.
So ruhelosen Tieres, der Ratte. Die sind hinterlistig, feige und grausam und treten meist in großen Scharen auf.
Large groups, right? So they're cunning, cowardly, horrifying, and appear most often in large groups. Caravans. right? Caravans are the large groups. They need to get you to believe that there are large groups of these hordes of animals and rodents. The caravans they talk about.
Stellen unter den Tieren das Element der heimtückischen unterirdischen Zerstörung dar. Nicht anders als die Juden unter den Menschen.
I mean, are we starting to understand now that this is right? I mean, so again, as I say in the video, are we starting to understand how they get their playbook, where they're getting their rhetoric from, where they're getting their fucking, their plays from? Let's see here. This goes on to talk about how Donald Trump's ex-wife once said he had a book of Hitler's speeches by his bedside table. Just more evidence to suggest that he absolutely does know the rhetoric that he's using and what it means. But here's this. Here is this. The oath. Here's the part that I want to get to. Here's the oath. Ready? Check this part out, and we'll compare the oath of Donald Trump that he makes his rally take, and the oath that the German military and the Nazis had to take to Adolf Hitler and Adolf Hitler alone. Here we go.
Room. Okay. I've never done this before. Can I have a pledge, a swearing? Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear.
Ich schwöre bei Gott, diesen heiligen Eid,
that I, no matter how I feel,
dass ich dem Führer des Deutschen Reiches und Volkes,
no matter what the conditions, if there's hurricanes or whatever,
unbedingt Gehorsam lässt und als tapferer Soldat bereit sein will, mein Leben einzusetzen.
will vote on or before the 12th
für diesen Eid
for Donald J. Trump for president.
Oberbefehlshaber der Wehrmacht, Adolf Hitler.
That's good enough. You all raised your hand. You swore. Bad things happen if you don't live up to what you just did.
You can call me crazy. You can call me a socialist. You can even call me a communist. But what you can't call and tell me is that it's ever a good thing for your fucking beliefs to line up with Nazi Germany this many times. To have it. All right. So I think we get the fucking point there, right? I mean, how uncannily similar was that? I mean, it's pretty much fucking just translated word for word. And then Donald Trump at the end even goes on to threaten them with, like, you know, bad things are going to happen. And here he is talking about the poisoning the blood of our country, in case you forget this part too. Probably never a good thing.
It is a very sad thing for our country. It's poisoning the blood of our country.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and assume that poisoning the blood of our country isn't in Donald Trump's regular vocabulary, right? I don't think Donald Trump's running around every day talking about how people are poisoning the blood of our country, right? Let's see here. There's got to be, let's see, is there another one here? Oh, yeah, this goes on to how Joe Biden talked about how he talked about Joe Biden is stabbing us in the back. This goes on to explain the stab in the back theory. Check this out. Ready? And then we'll move on to our to the other story here after this. Check this out. Stab in the back theory really means in the anti-Semitic roots that it came from.
Look, Joe is doing the bidding of Wall Street, of foreign countries, and of everyone else who owns him. But he's stabbing auto workers, manufacturing workers, and American families in the back.
Okay, stabbing manufacturers, American families, and other people in the back, right? Might not seem like anything to you. Might just seem like just a stupid phrase that he might use that, you know, to try to make it seem like, you know, things are worse off than they actually are, right? But there's a fucking very, very, very specific reason as to why he uses this term, and I go on to explain here. I understand most people wouldn't even notice that, and on its face and by itself probably wouldn't even be a big deal. But add that in with all the other examples I've shown you in this video, and this is absolutely no coincidence. Here is a short, clear, and concise explanation of what the stab in the back theory really means and where it came from, and why Donald Trump is probably using it.
The basic stab in the back theory stated that the German military was not responsible for the loss of World War I because uprisings and betrayals at the home front caused the German government to surrender while the war was still winnable, or at least before the army was defeated. It is an early example of a conspiracy theory that is believed because it is more comfortable to do so than to accept the pitiless reality.
Man, that's funny. It's more easy and it's more comfortable for these people to you know, get in behind and you know, believe in these conspiracy theories than it is for them to accept reality that they fucking lost, right? That people didn't want them in office, right? So that's I was just kind of giving a little bit of a rundown here as to what the stab in the back theory means and how even that rhetoric, even that small phrase can be directly linked to the Nazis and how they thought, they didn't lose World War I. It was the Jews behind the scenes. It was the people in the deep state behind the scenes that conspired against the German military. The Germans never lost a battle. How could they possibly lose the war? It must have been the people at home, the weaklings at home, the traitors and cowards at home, the Jewish elite that stabbed us in the back. Was the thought there, the premise on that, right? So again, 1-to-1 to Nazi rhetoric, 1-to-1 to these fucking people. But what do you say? Now that we got that out there into the zeitgeist, and Mel, I think you're right. I probably should do an update on that one for Midas and continue on our road to fascism that we're on here. But all right, let's take a look at this. What do you guys say we get into a little bit of Greg Kelly, as Hal would call the most miserable man on the internet? I don't have a fun nickname. I just think he's a fucking utter moron. One of the creepiest people. I guess the creepiest man on the internet would be a good one. But this is the beginning of MAGA commentators trying to put this out into their base, to try to give them a talking point, to try to give them an excuse, to try to give them a reason not to be mad at Donald Trump when he pardons Ghislaine Maxwell. This is what this is right here. This is what this is. This is all this is. And maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to play that right off the bat. Here, let me see if I can get rid of these ones. Get rid of these ones. Get rid of these ones. Get rid of that one. And then I'm going to see if I can play. We'll go in order here because I have a couple clips of Greg Kelly just from a couple weeks ago, and then him kind of talking about and praising this administration for like all the stuff they've released here. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, Greg Kelly celebrates the Epstein release. We'll take a look at this one first, right? Pause. Open. Share this tab instead.
So the Epstein...
Pause, I said. All right. Play it on mine. Switch account. I don't know why it does this. I'm going to have to figure out how to make that my main account from now on.
So...
All right, here we go. So this is Greg Kelly unravels the long-awaited Epstein files. And I'm only going to play a couple seconds of this. It's just to show you how excited, right? Just to show you how, like... amped up he is and like excited that he's finally going to get the answers, and how you can tell he, is excited to get the answers. Like he wants the answers, and now we'll juxtapose that to what Greg Kelly's saying now about the Epstein files and Ghislaine Maxwell. So hit that like button, folks. You're watching Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for hitting that like. Thank you for sharing and subscribing. I say we're on our way to 15K, but I just look like an asshole. Let's try to get to 13K first, I guess. I'll settle for 13K at this point. So yeah, hopefully we can do that at some point in the near century. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me just make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yes, you are. And we'll get into just a couple seconds of this. Check out this is Greg Kelly when I think the first Bindergate, when phase 1 of Bindergate happened, expressing his pleasure. Let's check this out.
So the Epstein files, the first chunk, have finally dropped. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thanks goes to the FBI Director Kash Patel, everybody who voted for Donald Trump. So
fucking praise all around, baby. Thank you to you and you and you. Fuck you, but you're cool. You're coming with me, right? Thank everybody. We're finally getting the answers, right, Greg?
About this guy, what he was up to, misunderstood, not understood at all, unknown. And how about how he died? We all know, right? Although some people have to...
We all know. Right, so Greg's sure. When was this? Greg is sure of everything in this case. He has no questions about it. All he needs is the answers coming out. This was 5 fucking months ago. February 27th, 2025. Okay? Now, stick this in your brain, ladies and gentlemen. Just a couple more seconds. Stick this in your brain. And then bring this up and play this side by side to the later clips we'll play of Greg Kelly talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and her special treatment and the benefits that she's now being afforded for being a convicted pedophile because Donald Trump was best friends with her and continues to be. All right, here we go.
People out there think he's still alive. Maybe we'll find out the answers, the true answers. Ooh, in this, the first.
I don't know. Is that Donald Trump's healthcare plan? Is that his, I don't know. What is that? What is that? Is that, I don't know what that is. Is that Kayleigh McEnany's fucking binder without the binder? Or is that just all of the assholes phase 1 fucking Epstein Bindergate combined?
First chunk of the Epstein files that dropped today, I don't think it's a game changer yet. It looks like our government may have withheld even more documents from the Attorney General and the FBI director.
That's when they were talking about how they thought the Southern District of New York was still holding on to these things, but of course the story has progressed so much farther since that that we know that Pam Bondi already said she had all the stuff. And this was again 2 weeks ago, so that was 5 months ago. This is Greg Kelly 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, hold on. Let me see if I can share this tab instead. I'll make it bigger just on this here. You seeing what I'm seeing? Yep. And this is Greg Kelly just 2 weeks ago. So remember that. So 5 months ago, ecstatic, praising everybody from Donald Trump to Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, the whole crew for making this happen, getting us the answers. You could tell that, he's really excited. Now, cue and cut to him just 2 weeks ago as it pertains to this story again. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, no, excuse me. Was it this one or this one? Which one was it now? Hold on. No, here we go. All right, my apologies. Here we go.
So President Trump saves America, and they're literally obsessed with this guy.
Oh, you can't fucking write it. You cannot write it. You can't. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who I'm speaking to up there, but thank you so much for sending me fucking these MAGA morons, and Greg Kelly in particular. You can't fucking write it, folks. You can't. I don't know how you could. I don't know how you could. I don't know. But you could. Oh my God, that's fucking beautiful. Just in the last one we just saw, Greg Kelly was ecstatic for getting the information. He was all over this. He said it wasn't going to be a game changer, but he was so just like hurriedly, like couldn't wait for the next release so he could get these answers, right? Praising everybody. And can we cut to just the beginning of this one more time, Greg? Give me that one more time. Holy shit. And this is 2 weeks ago. From 5 months ago to 2 weeks ago. Take it away, Grego. All right, now cut to 2 weeks ago. Ready? Here we go, everybody. Cut to 2 weeks ago. We'll take it away.
This guy, this is not why I voted for President Trump, to find out what was going on with Epstein. I've always been kind of vaguely interested, right? But
Huh? It's not playing? All right, my apologies. My apologies. Let's see so we can go back. I tried to do a side-by-side here. Ready? I tried to do the side-by-side. So can you see this one now? You should be able to see that one now. I should say Greg Kelly reports on the screen if everybody can see it, right? So again, this is Greg Kelly 5 months ago. Let's do this again, just so we can clip this, folks, just so we can get this as a good clip, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, you are now witnessing, you are now getting ready to behold Greg Kelly, a mere... Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you're now getting ready to behold Greg Kelly, a mere 5 months ago, praising every single person in this administration for what he says, coming out with the answers to the Epstein files and what was phase one of Bindergate, which we all know now was bullshit. But again, let's cut to 5 months ago, and then from there, we'll go to 2 weeks ago, and then from there, we'll go to this week to Greg Kelly. So let's follow this progression, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So this is Greg Kelly. 5 months ago, ladies and gentlemen, 5 months ago, Greg Kelly unravels the long and awaited Epstein files. We're just going to play a couple seconds, and then we'll cut to a couple weeks ago. Here we go.
So the Epstein files, the first chunk, have finally dropped. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thanks goes to the FBI Director Kash Patel. Everybody who voted for Donald Trump.
All right, so everybody on Earth. Thank you to everybody. Now, cut to 2 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, what you should be seeing is him looking at a scraggly photo of Jeffrey Epstein on there. Cut to 2 weeks ago, and we'll take a look at what he says here. Ready? Here we go. Thank God to everybody. Thank God for the Trump administration, he says 5 months ago. Thank God to Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, everybody that voted. And now he's saying,
So President Trump saves America, and they're literally obsessed with this guy. This guy.
I fucking can't. I literally just tried to play that without laughing.
This is not why I voted for President Trump, to find out what was going on with Epstein. I've always been kind of vaguely interested, right? But
vaguely interested, ladies and gentlemen, vaguely interested. Here he is, holding up the papers. Here he is currently holding up the entire stack of papers.
I don't think it's a game changer yet. It looks like our government.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Can I get one more time with that one? I'm sorry. I got to get that one more time, Greg. Give me that just a couple seconds. Here we go.
I've always been kind of vaguely interested, right? But I don't know. Yeah, I read the news as it came in.
I read the news as it came in. He's got the fucking stack of papers in his hand here. Oh, the depravity, the shamelessness, the fucking utter ignorant nature in which these people can get on in front of cameras with a fucking microphone in front of their face, knowing they're being recorded, and just completely bullshit and completely lie after just 5 months ago praising the ever-living fucking daylights out of this administration. All right, let's continue with this one, though. And then again, this isn't even the end. This isn't the worst. It gets so much worse than this, because this is, again, from 5 months ago to 2 weeks ago, and now we still have to take a look at what Greg Kelly is now saying about the Epstein files and Ghislaine Maxwell in particular. Hit that fucking like button. Let's go.
Now that I've gone a little bit deeper, I am convinced that this whole damn thing was a scam and a hoax. President Trump is right to trip up his first.
You're killing me. He's literally fucking gonna kill me. He's literally gonna kill me. Oh, it's a hoax. It's a hoax now, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hoax. And what you're seeing here is just Greg Kelly apparently holding up photos and papers and documents of a hoax. Vixen! What up, Vix? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? How are you? So good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're having a good day. We're just taking a look at the utter hypocrisy and bullshit of Greg Kelly here. We're on phase 2 here of Greg Kelly. We just took a look at phase 1, which was 5 months ago, him praising this administration for the release. Phase 2 is 2 weeks ago, where he's now talking about how this wasn't why he voted for Donald Trump. He only vaguely kind of cares about the Epstein files. And now let's just a little bit more of this, and then we'll go on with again with what he's saying now.
First administration, and create this kind of seeming mayhem among the fake news right now. But we're going to put it aside, because these are the things that I did vote for when I voted for President Trump. Securing the border. If we didn't have a border, we would not have a country.
Oh,
you heard about the comparison.
Time out. Colleen. I'm sorry, I missed it. Go by, Colleen. Let me see if I can scroll up so I can put it on the screen for you. Oh, I missed it a while ago, huh? I'm sorry. And what's up, Letterhack? What's up, buddy? What's going on, my man? Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Thank you for all that you're doing. Great content you're putting out. Sorry, Colleen, I can't go back that far, but thank you so much for your $100 contributions. That's amazing. Unbelievably generous and kind of you. She says, so you can expand your access to factual news outlets. Christ, is that backhanded? Was that backhanded? Was that like, hey, start looking at other sites, Bri? You asshole? Just kidding. I thank you, Colleen, so much. I really appreciate you and your continued support and appreciation for this channel. It really means a lot. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I really do. Yeah, is that like a, hey, here's a fucking $100. Stop looking at the shitty websites. Actually pay for a fucking membership. Oh, I love it. Oh, Angela. Oops, sorry. Sorry, Vixen, didn't mean wrong one. But hi again. Angela Phillips, thank you so much. Gifted 1 membership. And then Brenda Triplett's been here for 9 months. Let's go. Heinous creatures, all of them. Couldn't agree more on that one. But again, it's tough too because we got to stay away from and be careful of not getting into the same mindset and rhetoric that they are, right? We can't continue to call them animals and shit like that, right? Even though that's the behavior they're taking on, we kind of have to walk a fine line because you don't want to, stoop down to their level of dehumanizing, right? Even though they've pretty much dehumanized themselves in our eyes. So it's I know it's a different set of circumstances, but still kind of a fine line. Nothing against you guys. And I believe me, I've said it a million times that they act like animals. So I'm just kind of, as it pertains to myself. All right, here we go. Just a couple more seconds of this. And again, we'll go on to what Greg Kelly's saying now. Thank you. Hit the like button. Let's go.
0 illegal entries last year at the border. I'm sorry, 0 this year compared to 100,000. I think that was in.
Yeah, we're kind of running out of time. So yeah, and I don't even know if we'll get to talk about that, Mr. X. Fucking Janine Wino. So now we have a bag of wine literally as a federal employee. Or is it a fucking box of wine? I don't know. I don't even know if it's that. I don't even know if she's worth that much. Right. All right. But let's go on to what Greg Kelly's saying now, because I know I'm going to have a lot to say. I might run over just a couple minutes, and I apologize if I do so, because I know I'm going to have a shitload to say about this. How do I get back to my... Oh, there we go. My apologies. Got to get back to my emails because I sent myself all these clips. All right. So let me figure out how I'm going to do this. I did him celebrating the release. That was 2 weeks ago. We did that one. Let's see what this one brings me.
I got a new nickname for President Trump.
No, this one's probably not even worth playing. But this is pretty fucking funny and hypocritical. Here, I'll just play this for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds open. You get a kick out of this one. Yeah, this is Greg Kelly's new nickname for Donald Trump, in case you're wondering, guys. All right? Check this out. President Peace, he calls him. Check this out.
You ready? President Peace. Peace. President Peace. He's been getting on the phone and working it. President Peace. And actually...
No, we don't have to watch that. I apologize. What I'm looking for is the one that he's talking about now that this Mediaite article relates to. If I can't find it quick enough, I'll just go to the Mediaite article because I know they play it. Gives Russians the secrets. This is where, yep, I played 2 weeks ago. We called it a hoax. This must be it right here. This must be it right here. Let me see if I can go to this one. Oh, Christ. Do I have to sign in again? Or can I just watch it? Let's see if this works. Nope, I got to sign in. Log in. Oh, is it going to work for me? Is it going to work for me? Bear with me, folks. Sorry, my apologies. I'm showing my email. That's probably not a good thing. Probably take that off the screen. My apologies. Hold on. This is just kind of loading in the background. Let me see if I can get it to play. I don't know why it wouldn't, because it's fucking Newsmax. Maybe that's why. Come on, Newsmax. Bear with me. If not, I got the Mediaite article, so no big deal. But the whole episode is fucking crazy. Oh, thank you, Dame Dog. Thank you, Dame, and everybody else that's been sending Venmos too. You guys are fucking amazing. Come on, Newsmax. Fucking place sucks. I played it on my phone, but for some reason it doesn't want to play on the old comp. It doesn't want to play on the old. Come on, one time, buddy. One time. Let me see if I can pick a different show. Maybe this will work. Come on, baby. Come on, I'll just share this tab so you can see what I'm seeing at least. I got the spinning wheel of death on the Newsmax site here. All this is what I pay. This is what I get my free trial for. For fuck. And now it can't even be reached. What's up with that? Newsmax can't be reached. Okay. Looks like Newsmax having issues. Let me see if I can refresh that one. Maybe? No? Did Newsmax just kick me off? Did Newsmax just kick me off their website? What the heck? All right, now I got to go find this all again. Hold on. All right, bear with me. Bear with me. My apologies. My apologies. I know I got to figure out how I did that. I don't even remember how I got to that. Greg Kelly reports. I feel like this is going to start taking too long. I'll just go to the Mediaite article. No worries. That's why I got that in the background. Greg Kelly. Yeah, Greg Kelly show. Yes. How do I fucking get to the show? This is crazy. I've never seen an article or a website make it more difficult for you to watch what is, I'm assuming they're like main fucking, isn't it like their main content creator? Isn't he like their main show? How do I get back to it? Okay, home. I'm at home. Podcast? No, I don't want to watch podcasts. It's not a podcast. It's a show. All right, fuck it. We'll go to this. I can't believe it. I'm going to try one more time in my emails. One more time in my emails. I know I sent it to myself. Oh, here we go. Is this it? It says site can't be reached. I think Newsmax is having an issue. Can somebody get on? Is there anybody that can get on the Newsmax site? Like, why is this having issues? I don't understand. It says it's not available. Site can't be reached for some reason. Anyways, I'll just share this tab instead with you guys. That way I don't make you sit there and watch me do absolutely nothing as I start sweating my ass off. All right, so this is just a little clip from Greg Kelly's show. While this is playing, I'll look for it in the background because I sent myself at least 25 fucking clips from the show. And like I said, I paid for a free trial. Excuse me as I wipe my sweaty face. God damn. All right, so let's see if we can get into this clip. Again, there's only 2 minutes and 17 seconds of Greg Kelly trying to, again, sway the MAGA base, trying to lay it on the MAGA base, trying to get them to get, have a talking point, trying to get them to not be mad at their dear leader for when he inevitably pardons this sick and twisted individual. What the fuck? Now it's not even making me can I make it bigger? There we go. All right, here we go. Well, let's play this. One sec here. There you go.
So, remember this? Last year, President Trump, last year in a courtroom, flanked by two great attorneys, Emil Bove on the left and on the right is Todd Blanche. Today, where are these guys? Well, President Trump is in the White House. That's pretty awesome. Emil Bove has just been nominated for a judgeship, federal judgeship. And Todd Blanche is the Deputy Attorney General, the #2 ranking official in the Justice Department. And he's about to meet with Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend in prison, Ghislaine Maxwell, to find out what she knows. Let's find out. What is this all about? And she's also been subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee. I think this is great. I do have a feeling that she just might be a victim.
She just might be a victim. I mean, how you could say that with a straight face without throwing up in your fucking mouth, I have no idea. Really, I don't know. I don't see how that's possible. It's literally just beyond something that I can comprehend to anybody saying. But go ahead. Go ahead.
She just might be. There was a rush to judgment. There was a lot of chaos there for a while. All right. Granted, she hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. And I know that's apparently not good. But she's in jail for how long now? 20 years. A 20-year sentence. Well, Alan Dershowitz is one of the greatest attorneys who ever lived, and he has this to say about the Ghislaine Maxwell situation.
One of the greatest attorneys that ever lived. You mean the guy that says he kept his underwear on? That guy? And I apologize. I'm trying in the background, trying to find the full friggin' thing here. We might have to save that for the next show. I know I have it. I even sent it to myself, but for some reason, I think Newsmax is kind of stopping me from watching it from the link that I sent because you have to have a free trial, I think is what's going on. Yeah, let me see if I can do this. I already completed the checkout. Plan. Yep. Update profile. Yep. My account. But where the hell can I watch the goddamn shows? Greg Kelly Reports is right here, but it doesn't let you click on it. It's hilarious that you cannot get to the channels, to the shows from the Newsmax fucking website. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like you literally have to struggle to find. Yes, it's active. I know it's active, my subscription. So can you fucking take me to the content? Good grief. All right, well, my apologies. I have it right here. Greg Kelly shows for Ghislaine Maxwell. Greg Kelly Reports, 8/1/25. Here's the fucking clip. And it goes to this site can't be reached. I apologize, my guys. I do. I really do apologize. I had it all set up. Yeah, something must be going on because it's just everything I do with Newsmax now is just kind of showing me. I think they kicked me off for making fun of Greg Kelly. Anyway, my apologies. I'll continue showing this this dickhead over here. Now what happened to this? Wow. I have no way to exit out of this now. I think maybe something's going on with the computer. Maybe I'm having a little technical difficulties here. Because there's no way for me to exit this now or show this back to you on the screen. So I'm going to go this way. I don't know why the hell that would just all of a sudden happen. I'm going to have to stop it and start it again. So here, I'll start screen, share screen. It's going to be this one. This one. Okay. Now get me out of this. Put me back in here. Sorry about that, guys. That was crazy. I don't know why that just happened. But again, we're on this article here of Greg Kelly. I'm trying to get his latest statements here, which are sick, and they only play a couple seconds of it here. So I don't want to really like just tease you with the couple seconds. You know what I mean? I wanted to play the full shit.
Well, be behind bars. She shouldn't be, but she is. She is really serving Jeffrey Epstein's sentence after he committed suicide. There was no one else to prosecute because there was no real information against anybody else. And so...
No, because it sounds really quiet now, too, for some reason, which it didn't before. I don't know, something must have happened. No big deal. No big deal. I have, like I said, I have the memberships on the wrong server. On the wrong server. No, because I did everything on Chrome. I usually don't do anything other than Chrome. Trump administration broke rules to move Ghislaine to Club Fed. This is a Daily Beast article that Mel sent. That I don't have a membership to Daily Beast, but definitely something we should be telling you guys to take a look at to illustrate just how they did break the rules in order to get her into the new facility here. This is like I said, Daily Beast says Trump administration broke rules to move Ghislaine to Club Fed camp. Again, if you have the ability to convicted child sex trafficking, Ghislaine Maxwell secured a secret prison transfer after the Bureau of Prisons waived a rule designated to punish sex offenders, as we read earlier in the show. But like I said, if you have the Daily Beast, I'm sure that would go on to explain a little more about it. And yeah, I'm bummed out about this one, man. I was really excited to cover this I really was. And I've never seen a more poorly fucking formatted website where you can't even get Newsfront. All right. Doesn't even let me type in like Greg Kelly reports and it brings up his show. Like, I truly don't even know how I got to his show. I don't remember how I got to his show in the first place. Epstein? What if I just type in Epstein? Does that work? I just click one of these, maybe. Is this Greg Kelly? No. No, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out again. I made it as far as to send myself the exact clip of it, so I know I did it the first time. Fucking boomer. What a fucking boomer. What a boomer. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's saying right now Newsmax TV can't be reached, so maybe they're having a problem with Newsmax TV and the like the Newsmax Plus figures. Well, my apologies, guys. My apologies. I did want to bring that to you. Is there anything else I can get to kind of finish out these last couple minutes that we have together? Let me see what else I got here. Alyosha got some memes. Oh, here we go. We can share that one. Share this one. Hey, let me make this big on the screen. Oh, that's not it either. But that is. There we go. First, Alyosha, nice enough to send over some memes here. This is Jeffrey Epstein dancing with his best friend, Donald Trump. While J.D. Vance is in the background trying to distract himself from the obvious reality that is the friendship there. Let's see what else Alyosha got in our pocket. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to have to go back every time, though, so I don't show everybody my emails. What else is this one? What do you got here? All right, this is, oh, yeah, I like this one. This is the mind control that they're trying to pull right now over their base. These are not the Epstein files you are looking for, says the Jedis. And then we got this meme here is the last one I think he sent on in this batch here. Let me see what this one is. This is, I think, an obvious one here. Let's see. View tab and StreamYard, yes. And then this one is say no to Trump. He's running the country like one of his hotels and casinos. Bad decision. Mass debt that ultimately resulted in bankruptcy. Absolutely. What else do we got that we can talk about in the last couple minutes of the show here? I'm really bummed about that. Yvonne sent a bunch of videos. England exposes Trump and Prince Andrew's Epstein conversations. Whose video is this? See, I'm always worried about copyright. This is Occupy Democrats. So I think I could play an Occupy Democrats. I don't have time to play it right now, but maybe we'll do that on the next show too, Yvonne. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, let me see what else. I know there's another story, another little short clip that I had, I think, that we could show you guys. Oh yeah, Midas Touch posted this. So this is kind of what kicked off my other than you guys in the chat last week talking about we should bring up Greg Kelly again. This kind of kicked it off, which was funny because right after you guys bring up Greg Kelly, seems like the shit hit the fan as it pertains to Greg Kelly, because this is Midas Touch posting, my God, look what MAGA has become. And Greg Kelly says he pled guilty to that horrible sick stuff, but that doesn't mean that Ghislaine Maxwell is guilty. And there's a hell of a lot of evidence out there that says she's innocent. And this is from the show that I want to fucking play you if I can fucking find it. But this is just a little clip from that show. Let me make sure you guys can see it here. And tell me if this doesn't piss you off as much as it pisses me off. So ready, listen to this. This is again posted by Ace and reposted by Midas Touch of Greg Kelly's recent show, which we're going to fucking cover tomorrow. If I have to, I don't care if I have to run to Newsmax and operate it myself. We're going to show this shit. All right, here we go.
Oh boy, there he is again. Jeffrey Epstein. Annoying story.
Annoying story right off the bat. So, okay, good juxtaposition, Greg. Good juxtaposition. One more juxtaposition can we give the folks here? All right. So we're going to give them one more. Right. We're going to give them this.
So the Epstein files, the first chunk, have finally dropped. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thanks goes to the FBI Director Kash Patel.
Now pause and cut to this. Okay. Pause and cut to this.
Oh boy, there he is again. Jeffrey Epstein. Annoying story, isn't it? In so many ways, and kind of infuriating. All right. He beat the system kind of in death. Total monster. I believe it. Yeah, monster. He pled guilty to that horrible, sick stuff. But that doesn't mean that Ghislaine Maxwell is guilty. And there is a hell of a lot of evidence out there.
You know what does mean she's guilty? Her fucking conviction. You sick, twisted, lip-licking fucking prick. That's what tells you she's guilty. That's what tells her fucking conviction through the judicial system is what tells you she's guilty. The evidence that we have in front of our fucking faces from the firsthand accounts of the victims themselves, you dumb motherfucker. That is what we have. That's why. And I'm going to have to play that one more time, guys. I'm going to have to play that one more time. And my apologies. And let's do this. Let's do this right. Let's do this right, okay? This is Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly, 5 months ago, ladies and gentlemen, 5 months ago.
Epstein files, the first chunk, have finally dropped. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thanks goes to the FBI Director Kash Patel. Everybody who voted for Donald Trump.
Okay, cut to now. Cut to now, ladies and gentlemen. Cut to now. Here we go.
Oh, boy. There he is again. Jeffrey Epstein. Annoying story, isn't it? In so many ways, and kind of infuriating. All right. He beat the system kind of in death. Total monster. I believe it. Yeah, monster. He pled guilty to that horrible, sick stuff. But that doesn't mean that Ghislaine Maxwell is guilty. And there is a hell of a lot of evidence out there that she's innocent, and a hell of a lot of evidence that they railroaded her. Part of it.
Wow. Fucking wow, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. And that is not even the half of it. Like I said, I watched the show. This is one of the first times in a long time that I've watched an entire clip. Before watching it with you guys, I usually like to, break it down and react in real time. But this is one that I literally couldn't keep my eyes off of. Like, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse with every fucking segment. And by hella high water, I will show you that episode. I will show you that episode. Hopefully Newsmax allows that, or I can figure out a way to get that done. I'll download it or fucking something. But the blatant hypocrisy, the blatant 180s, I mean, that makes Pam Bondi's 180 make it looks like a fucking 360 at this point compared to Greg Kelly's flipping and flopping like a fucking fish out of water in this situation, right? I mean, get a load of that and make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely priming the MAGA base to not go after Donald Trump when he inevitably pardons a convicted pedophile sex trafficker of children, because they have a long-lasting standing friendship, as he did with the other co-conspirator of the world's largest sex trafficking ring involving children, Jeffrey Epstein. All right? So again, yes, if that doesn't make you fucking head spin, the blatant fucking shamelessness, like to sell your soul on national television or wherever that fucking show is televised, I mean, that you got to have absolutely zero balls whatsoever. And you definitely get a big one of these from the fucking Bryantologist community, Greg.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Did you guys hear that? Was that audible? Because I didn't. But at least he got the finger. At least he got the finger. All right. Let me see. I don't, can I hear my drops? I should be able to hear my drops, right? I didn't play one. Let me see here. Let's see here. Just pick anyone, I guess.
Feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful out. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
Yeah, I heard that one. For some reason, I didn't hear this one. But just in case it didn't play, I give Donald Trump, Greg Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein posthumously, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Stephen Miller, Stephen Chung, and anybody else involved in this administration, a big one.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Now let's get into thanking everybody for their kind and generous contributions to the show today. We only had a few, but man, were they powerful. Man, were they meaningful. Thank you guys so much for your continued friendship, your viewership, your loyalty to the show. I thank you so much. I really do. So let's get into thanking some people here. All right. Sheldon, thank you so much for kicking it off. Thank you so much. He's usually either one or two in that group, and I appreciate you every single time for being there. I really do. JD coming in at number 2. Let's go, JD, with the 5 gifted. Appreciate that. Kyle, what's up, fucking Kyle, buddy? How are you, dude? Yes, I know it's you. You don't have to fucking tell me. You've been here for 17 months, Kyle. I recognize your name no matter what it is. YouTube couldn't change enough for me not to recognize your name. Slacks. What's up, Slacks, you handsome motherfucker? Slava Ukraini, Heroyam Slava, right back to you, my friend. I will absolutely pass along the love to both Mel and Dungaree Dog Logan, and the love to the chat as well. Thank you, buddy. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, dude. Thank you, Steph B. Let's go. Distraction from Dinky's Better Life. Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here for 6 months. I really do. What's up, Thomas? What's up, big guy? Not live that often. Still supporting, though. Appreciate you, dude. Rock on, my man. Thank you, James. No, fucking, what an asshole. Josh, my apologies. I called you your last name first. That's the names. They're throwing me off. What's up, buddy? It says he's a teacher in Texas, and he only works about an hour and a half away from where Ghislaine Maxwell is actually now being housed. So maybe we can come up with an idea or two as to what's going on. Wait, timeout. Something ain't right. Something ain't right in Chatville here, because I don't see Colleen's anywhere. Colleen's, I know she gave $100. It's not even on the list. That's strange. Did I miss anybody else? Because it shows it here. Let me see. I can see it here. It says Colleen, 1120, $100 so you can expand your access to factual news outlets. I appreciate that so much, Colleen. But for some reason, it's not showing up in the starred, the starred section where it saves all of my chats. Thank you, Josh, again. I didn't see that one in there as well. I don't know what's going on. I hope I'm not missing a ton of them. I'm scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss any. I'm sorry, guys. If I did miss you, I promise let me know, and I will absolutely get you the recognition that you deserve For some reason, maybe StreamYard's kind of having a glitch now, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm the one having the fucking glitch. Maybe it's me. But yeah, I don't see your latest one, Josh, or I don't see Colleen's, and I think there was a few more in there too. So I apologize to anybody that donated to the show that it's not showing up right now. That's horrible. But let me get to the Venmos, and then I'll get you guys out of here. I appreciate it. Good show today. Good show. Let's see here. Venmo. It says, who was so nice enough today? Let's see here. Transactions. Dame Dog, let's go. Jen, thank you so much. Elaine, thank you so much. Victoria, nice to see you, Victoria. Thomas as well, thank you so much. Jamie, Linda, Nancy, Thomas again. Linda, Jamie, Damon, you guys are fucking fantastic. All of you guys. Again, bust a buck, try your luck, support some independent media. Come on, Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. Literally a political podcast by a passionate, blue-collar individual that just wants to give you the news and give you the political fucking news as it comes out. Learn it with you, dive into it with you, pick the right candidates, get these fucking popular progressive policies in motion so that we can have better healthcare, we can have higher paying jobs, we can make sure that our kids are fed without working fucking 5, 6, 7 jobs, right? So let's fucking do it. Let's do it. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate all your support. Hit that like button, share the show, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, and you continue coming back, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps so much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much. Get the fuck out of your seats. Get into the streets. Find your nearest protest. Find your nearest rally, whatever it may be, wherever it may be, with whomever it may be with. But get out there. Stay loud. Stay proud. Stay aggressive. But keep your head on the swivel, guys. Make sure you're staying safe out there, please, because you never know. You never know who's trying to agitate. I really do appreciate you guys. Keep kicking ass. Keep fighting. Until next time, I'll see you tomorrow. No, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you Tuesday. I'll see you Tuesday for the Tuesday show, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And we'll continue to kick some Republican Donald Trump, some fascist ass, all right? Because what we do here, we're standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. And if you can believe it or not, that's actually a Ben Shapiro quote.
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis.
Told you. All right, take it easy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, every one of the mods, every single one of the mods. Without you, this chat is a nothing. Without you, this show is not possible. Thank you, Mel, for everything that you produce, all your help with the show, all the articles that you send. I love you very much. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are fantastic. And again, I'll see you Tuesday. All right. Go support independent creators, whether it be me or anybody else. If I bring you value, or if another entertainer, another commentator, creator brings you value, think about supporting them. Because again, nothing behind a paywall here. No ads. No donors, no backers, no nothing. It's just straight financial support for independent media that you guys love, for and by you. All right. I'll see you Tuesday. All right, guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Keep kicking ass, guys. Sorry, moms. Thank you so much. I'm sure your tithing is in there somewhere. For some reason, it's not showing up. I really do apologize about that. You know how much I like recognizing everybody at the end, you know?
Right? There weren't trees around when lobsters first manifested themselves on the planet. When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really
healthy. They had great arms, but they...
Brian, yeah, you're drunk. You're drunk.
This guy's been drunk all day. He's the town drunk.
Like we always do about this time.
There's no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist. I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it.
Always calling me Little Marco. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me, he's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2".
For the rest of my life, I have the curse that I have little hands. Little hands. Refer to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small.
Hey, you got a little chubby going there.
We'll have a group of Venezuelan killers, street gangs, occupying the town with MK-47s. I know that gun very well. I got to know it very well.
Yes, of course, hence the name. Movement, it moves a certain distance, then it stops, you see. A revolution gets its name by always coming back around in your face. You tried to kill me, you son of a bitch. So welcome to the revolution.
Yesterday was a hard word for me. Uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things.
Never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill.
Army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. Obama. Call them dumps, big massive dumps.
Man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe. Tell the director to call the White House. Do your fucking job!
Appreciate those camels. I haven't seen camels like that in a long time.
Oh, get those lights off! Off! Turn them off. They're too bright. Turn them off!
Bad news, bad news. Even when it's good news, it's bad news.
How do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president? Seriously, how do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president?
Taking it back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses. I didn't say mud, I said crud. Fall into some crud or something?
I'm just an average guy who read public documents where the elite said they were going to enslave us and destroy America, and I'm not going to be like yuppies come and deny the threat to my country. I'm going to fight back.
What in the hell was that all about?
The big, fat, sloppy United States.